Right, welcome back to this week's pod. We'll get straight into it. Super Sunday was absolutely shit. Um, are you? We'll go into the City Arsenal straight away. Are you happy with that, Gav?
Yes. You know what? Yes and no. Because I would say yes, because the many times we've went to the Etihad and got absolutely fisted and got no points has been quite a lot. Get a point at the Etihad when City weren't. Yeah, they missed Kyle Walker. They had a few injuries, but it was still a pretty strong team. To come away
They
with a draw
dominated
is
you though.
perfect.
Would you? Would
But
you agree with that?
hmm?
They dominated you though. Would you agree with that?
um, dominates a strong word. Played better and had more possession. Absolutely, had more chances. Absolutely. The reason I say no for the point
Because
is
you're a prideful man.
no, because I'm just being greedy. I want all the 3 points. I felt we could have, we should have put the two chances away, but we didn't. City had more chances, but when it's coming to the end of the season, you need to get all the points that you can get that
Well, I also
are
think as
potential in your
title
games.
contenders against them, you should be turning up to take the 3 points. And I'm not gonna lie, mate, you just looked quite happy with a draw. Like you just
I will throw this in there.
going forwards.
I got a handle for it. It was the game wasn't Super Sunday. It was title contenders versus title pretenders.
Oh, that's a bit rough.
I'm going to go a bit harsh on this.
Journalist.
No, I'm going to go harsh on this, man. I don't see what that actually serves you. Going up there and drawing. Oh, you drew. Well done. We've stopped his record. Oh, City scored 58 times
It's not about the record.
2 seconds. City scored 58 times consecutively at the Etihad. We stopped him doing that. That's brilliant, but it's not improved your situation.
But who said
If you
that?
won today, it
That'll
was
be
all
a
over Sky
media thing.
after the game. It was all over Sky.
It's a fucking media thing.
2 cents.
It's
Even
what annoys me.
even AFTV came out straight away after the game going, stalemate, good result. It wasn't a good result. How was it a good result?
No,
It's a good result
top the
over
league.
history it had.
But what I'm saying is, Gav, with
what I'm saying.
with
As
8
a
games to
title,
go,
you want to win all the. You want to get all the points
Yeah.
that are out there, and that's why I was saying no. But that is me being greedy. That's me being a fan. But at the same
I
time,
don't think it is,
that's
though.
that's me thinking from my heart. The reason I say yes, a point that is a good result for us also, is thinking of my head. That just shows how far we've come.
No, 2 cents, Ben. 2 cents. Right, explain that one then. With your head, explain that one then. How is it a good result?
Right. So the past 7 times we've travelled to the Etihad, I'm pretty sure we've lost by more than a 2-goal deficit.
Okay.
We've not played well at the Etihad.
No.
Possibly, in almost the past decade. I mean, we hadn't won there since 2015. We still haven't won there since 2015. But today, who was it? I think it was Aki had a shot against David Raya, and David Raya saved away the header for Aki. Sorry, that would have been the domino. That would have been the start and fall and domino, and it would have there would have been more chances like that. I mean, we would have conceded, but we didn't. We bucked up our ideas and we actually played better defensively.
I think he's played well, as in I think he's played well with the game plan he went up there. I think Arteta shit the bed. I think me and Ben both said that because I don't know why you go up to the Etihad and go for a draw just to try and help your overall record. What I'm saying is you've literally handed Liverpool 2 points today.
I also think Arsenal are competing to beat City and win the title, and I've gone to City and played for a draw. Like it genuinely, like and don't get me wrong, the City, like they're going up the other end of the pitch, they're awful. But like I don't know. I think if it's me, if I'm an Arsenal fan, rather than getting a draw, I'd be willing to go up and try and punish them.
You view it as a missed opportunity,
you can't. But that's yeah, of course. If you're going for a title, you're going for a trophy. You want to get the wins, absolutely. If you don't, then you're just fucking stupid. But a draw's not the end of the world for us. If we lost and City go ahead of us, I think it's a massive hill to climb. Yes,
I-
Liverpool are 2 in front of us now.
I
I
said
see
this to
Liverpool
Ben.
dropping points.
I said
All
this
we
to
need to
Ben.
do is just match City.
I'd literally said this to Ben. That is the whole reason. That is the only thing I can think of that Arteta's done. By drawing, you've made City more than 3 points behind you, and that
Uh,
is the paramount thing. Oh no, sorry, they're 3 points
no,
behind
they're under a
Liverpool.
point.
So
Yeah.
they're now. I think they're 2 points behind you lot, 3 points behind Liverpool. It's the
They're
only
only
thing of
1
going.
point.
Are
One
they?
point behind us, yeah.
I personally think you've done Liverpool a favour. I don't think you've done yourselves any favours. I get the notion of you trying to break the buck of not losing the Etihad, but the problem is, mate, City are capable of going 8 wins in a row.
You know,
Arsenal?
that's what I mean. I don't think it was the case of trying to break the duck or whatever. It's a case of if all we need to do now, if City win, we need to win. City draw, we need to draw or win. We need to just match what they do and just hope Liverpool drop points, which I do see them dropping points
So you don't
somewhere.
see Liverpool as the
I don't
favourites?
think it'll be losing. Like losing the 3 points. I think there'll be draws throughout the way, but I think they'll draw against Everton, a Goodison, or possibly even lose that one. There was another one I seen, but I can't remember who it was. I think they can easily drop points there. City are 1 point behind us. I know last season they were fucking 13, 14 behind us and caught us, but I feel different about this team. There
It's a
seems to
different
be a more
Arsenal
maturity.
because they
There's a
don't
maturity
concede.
about it, but I think me and Jay spoke about this a couple of days ago. If Arteta came to the Etihad and played what was on the pitch, we had a better chance of winning. The way he set up today, the way we played today, was he was trying to outclass or outplay Pep rather than outplay what he's been doing all season.
I just don't think he was
I
trying
just
to
feel
lose. He
he
just
just
didn't want
didn't
to lose
want to get
Arteta.
loose. He didn't want to lose to Pep. I feel, but yeah, you don't want to lose, but it felt different with this
I
one
can give you
a
though,
bit.
is to withhold that pressure for 90 minutes. Arsenal's defending was class, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
She did really well to take the pressure for 90 minutes. I'm disappointed that it's been bigged up to be this, it's a title race match. It's going to be an unbelievable game of football. And it was
It was shit.
It was.
It's one of those though, Ben.
It was more fun to watch. In all honesty.
But it's one of those though. I disagree, but I mean, the ones that are being built is the best games about are always not going to match the level of the hype.
No, the problem is
getting.
now is if that's going to be the rivalry for the next 5 years and the best and biggest game in the Premier League after Klopp goes, there's no point in even watching it. It's just a chess match at this point, really.
It is a chess match, but I think
caution's never thrown to the wind. You both want possession, and then to be honest with you, I think Arteta would have done that regardless today. I genuinely think he's gone up there just to go, we're good enough defensively now. We don't need to come out and play against you, and we'll try and hit you on the counter. And it almost worked a couple of times.
he tried to match what he'd done at the start of the season when we beat them 1-0. Coming after the party, crossfield balled it to Martinelli, take a shot. That's what it kind of felt like. It felt like just doing the same move again. If it comes off, it comes off. It doesn't, it doesn't. It's not the end of the world. But
I think you lot have the hardest running though, don't you?
Probably still got United, Spurs, Villa,
Brighton,
Villa, Wolves.
So are you any more confident from winning the Premier League now? I'm going to ask every week running in the raining. I can't imagine the first year of doing this pod that they win the Premier League. That would be fucking depressing, wouldn't it?
I'm kind of the same. I'm not less, and I'm not more. I feel we've got the same amount of chance. If we had lost today, it would have been down a lot.
If you were, you've seen it as well, probably, and so has Ben. Is that all of this? The only thing that gets me is the change of perspective and the pivot from, and not only AFTV. It's not like I'm shitting on them, but all of the social media stuff for Arsenal, because they were going a couple of weeks ago. Oh, we can go to the Etihad and we can outplay them at their own game, and we'll play our own style of football. Yeah, and you just didn't. You just decided to sit back, which is fine. I mean,
I was one of those fans. If I'm being honest, I was predicting a 1-0, 2-1. I didn't think it was going to be outclass it, and I thought it was just going to be somebody's going to get ahead and stay ahead. But do I want 3 points? Absolutely. Am I gutted about getting a point? Nah.
Fair.
You need all the points you can kind of get, and if a point's available, you're going to take a point rather than no points.
The only talking point I know from the game, that's how fucking boring it was. Wasn't even about any of the actual creativity. It was just the fact how bad Anthony Taylor was today.
Oh, nah, see, just before we get into that, there's 2 chances I want to talk about where it strengthens the argument of why we need a striker. I think it was Bukayo Saka has whipped the ball across the 6-yard box, and Jesus is about 3-4 steps behind it, and he slid into next week. How is he not there? One, and it's like he's dived after the ball. That's the first one. The second one is we've got a 2v2. We've got Trossard in front of the 2 centre backs, and Martinelli's roaring down the fucking other side.
I was saying it's
and
Ben.
he's not fucking whipped it in. I think he was going to, and then thought, nah, I'm going to be a little cute here. Tried to come back, and it's landed in our own fucking half.
So when you watch the Jesus one, it's because if you look at it, Akanji's so clever. He nudges Jesus as he tries to go behind Akanji, and he puts him off balance, and that's when he comes stumbling in front of the goal. And the second one, Trossard, it was his first touch. It was absolutely shocking.
Yes, absolutely. It was, and I think that he tried to compensate with trying to be a little cute, cutting back and and it didn't work out. But I don't know where Timber is. He was apparently going to be fit for this game, and I was excited for that because I think that would have been one of those inclusions where City weren't going to expect it, and it could have played into their advantage. I also might not know, but hey ho. But yes, Anthony Taylor, get in the bin. Fucking baldy
shit,
prick.
wasn't he?
He was giving fouls that wasn't a foul. He was booking folk that wasn't a fucking foul in the first place. He was letting stuff go, which, don't get me wrong,
right,
I don't mind stuff getting let go. But he's calling a foul on the same thing 2 seconds later. Who was it?
The biggest issue is, right, he went with an hour before he got the card because he was too busy pussyfooting around here. Well, basically, Odegaard committed, I think, 7 fouls.
I don't know, 7.
No,
it was a lot.
It was great.
Just kind of looked at him. Just makes you what is going on?
No, genuinely.
One challenge.
Go on.
Sorry, Jay.
Go on.
There was one in the first half, and I think it's only about 10-15 minutes in. I think it's Jesus. He's done something. And Anthony Taylor just went, whoa. And it's like...
It was Jesus. It was the 3rd time in 10 minutes. And it's like, don't try and be his therapy coach. Card the cunt.
Yeah.
There were so many cards that should have been given that weren't. And then the ones that were given, it was a bit like, you're giving it for that? Really?
What? For the sake of it. It was useless. Like, useless.
He's probably went on Twitter at half time going, I wonder what folk are going to say. And it's just gone, prick, shit.
Because you know what, literally, I think he's gone for the refereeing type of let the game breathe. And it wasn't doing that. It was doing the negative where like Arsenal had no interest in pressing, and all that was happening was they were just cutting up play and stopping momentum. That's all that was happening.
Yeah. Just be consistent. If you're going to let stuff go, just be consistent. Because there was one that happened. Who was it? I think it was a nudge. It was a nudge or something on a City player that it wasn't a foul, but it was given as a foul. And then literally across the pitch, a City player's done it to an Arsenal player. And Anthony Taylor's just went, get up, son. But how is one a foul and one's not, you stupid baldy prick?
He lost the game. He is there with all that mentality, which I absolutely hate. Is we don't get that card because it's a good game. No, this is the ones where you should be on point with a card, because if a team does get too handsy or they do start doing stupid fouls where they're just dropping people in there or kicking the ball out of that crap, then if this someone gets sent off, because they just make the game more interesting rather than the snooze fest.
Arsenal committed 20 fouls.
I disagree with that, Ben. I think if you have one player that gets sent off, that team just. I know Arsenal sat back today, but they would sit even further back. They would get their tents
I
and
don't think
pitch
that
them
was
in the
possible, mate.
6-yard box. No, but that's what I mean. If that was any other game and it was attack v attack, that other team that's got a red card is just going to camp in their own half. They're not going to do anything.
Spanish John Dash on the fucking on the sideline today.
No. He's called up Moisey and asked how to do a low block over the international break. That's what it was. Do you know what I mean?
Because, you know,
He's got
about
Moisey and
10
Kevin
maybe on the ball.
That's a question. Do you think the international break had something to do with how poor the game actually was?
It made it, I don't think they were all fit and firing. No, if that's what you're asking. If you looked at, I mean, De Bruyne. I said this to Ben actually. I think it's the worst I've seen De Bruyne play. Actually, two ends. Not short
He was a
passing,
whiny
not
little
keeping
bitch today.
not keeping it up, but like final balls and anywhere past like what I'd call the medium range passing. I thought it was terrible. Nothing was in a feet. I think Bernardo Silva. I don't know how he didn't get a look in for player of the match. I thought he was quality. I get why Saliba got it. I'm a bit dubious because Haaland doesn't turn up against any of the big teams. That's not what he was there for. He was there to beat a low block, which he should have done today. But I don't actually think Saliba done more than defending. I think Gabriel done more than defending against Saliba, against Haaland, to be honest with you.
It's one of
But
those
it's because Haaland
stats
kept on
say
beating onto
different.
him.
It's stats say different is the problem. I think Gabriel was more active. He was more active going up and down the pitch, trying to get the attack floating. Saliba was just kind of there to not bully Haaland. He was just there to try and keep Haaland quiet throughout the game.
Kirill had a very awkward game. I thought Kirill had a very awkward game, and then Tomiyasu had a very awkward 10 minutes or 20 minutes.
You know what? Kirill, he started off shaky, grew into the game, and then got a little bit shaky again. I don't know if that was just legs or what. And then Tomiyasu came on, and the first thing he done was
getting megged.
I think it was Doku. Doku just breezed past him. Then after that, Tomiyasu went, "You can kick that ball past me. You're not going past me." That's
the commentator literally went, "Oh, and how's Tomiyasu going to deal with the first?" And then literally Doku just megged him and walked through him, and you're like, "Well, he ain't dealing with him. That's how he's going to deal with him. He ain't dealing with him." If there's no other points, I'd just like to ask: are you as good a team as City? Should you be highlighted in the same area as City? When I mean that is Man City's probably the best team in the world right now.
I would say we're still off them.
Right. Okay.
We're not as good. I think we're still off Liverpool.
Right. Okay.
I think we're 1 or 2 signings off of being a great team. No, I think we're a good team. I think we're more of a good team than an average team. If you get like Man United at the moment is an average team. You've got us that are a good team, but then you've got the elite and the great teams where you had the quadruple asses in the City, the Premier League and Champions League a couple of years back winners with Liverpool. We it sounds bad. We haven't won anything yet. We've won the FA Cup a few times. We've qualified for a Champions League. It doesn't put us in the same bracket as that. Do I think we can get to that level? Yes. We're 1 or 2 signings off of it. And then when those 1 or 2 signings come in, it'll either make or break for that fucking comment.
That's all right. It'll just be getting clipped. I've got a timestamp of it. It's all good.
That's brilliant.
We'll go into the more interesting game of the season. Of the weekend even. Newcastle West Ham. Now, it was an absolute barn burner, and when I mean that, as in it was 2 bang average teams that just couldn't defend to save their life. We looked half decent. We'll just go around the controversy. The first pen, is everyone in agreement that is a penalty?
That is a pen.
Right, quality. I don't understand why it took 4 minutes, whatever it took. At the end of the day, Mavropanos will try to clear the fucker. It's clearly a deliberate pass. And then Kufal's decided to kind of run his leg on Anthony. Yeah. He knows better than that. He's like a 30-year-old international. Like he should know better than that. The goals, by the way, Lucas Paquetá was absolutely on fire. Yesterday, I thought.
I don't think I've seen Antonio have a 1-on-1 all season except for today.
I tell you what, no, that was incumbent. That was reminiscent of about 2 years ago when we were quote unquote nice to watch. That top, you know that 1-on-1 goal when he's broke the line.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I've not seen him do that in years. Get
So
3-1
they'll be away
up
in the
nice and-
summer.
Oh, it's all right, mate. Let him go. Get 3-1 up, nice and comfortable, and then Moyes does what Moyes does. He's done this a couple of weeks in a row now, where he decides to take off our only striker and then put Paquetá up at top, and we lose any out ball we were going to have. And then, funnily enough, 7 minutes later, we concede a penalty, which I'll just
It's
put
not a
around the room.
pen.
Is that a penalty?
It's not a pen. Never a pen.
He's
Right,
absolute load of crap.
Why is it
I'll
not a penalty?
I was just supposed to. I'll tell you why it's not a penalty. The
Go on, Gav.
Newcastle player came from behind Phillips. Phillips hasn't got wind mirrors. You can't fucking see what's behind him. I think it's Anthony Gordon came in front of him. He's not attempted to get the ball. He's put his foot in front of him to get the contact.
Just
So
get
it's
the
not like
contact.
Phillips has seen the foot there and then cleared him out. He's already back swinging to kick.
Yeah.
You can't stop that. Even if you do stop it, you're still going to clatter him. And knowing Gordon, he's going to go down as if he's in fucking Iraq and being a sniper.
Can I just say
Because
that as well?
he's a
Because I know we're on about Arsenal committing a lot of fouls today, right? But what really got my goat was I think Bruno Guimaraes made 5 fouls, I think, against us, and I don't even think he got a card. Paquetá dived, I think, 3 times, didn't get booking. I'm happy with him getting booked. Gav knows this. We went to Liverpool when he was falling about the place. I don't like that side of him.
No.
It does. The overall refereeing, from what I've seen this week, hasn't been very good. Just
on about the penalty. The referee, I can't remember who the referee was adamant on the pitch. It's not a foul.
Yeah.
It's not a foul.
Yeah.
And then he goes to VAR, and then I don't know what he's seen because he had a clear angle of it. He's seen it.
I want the audio. I want the audio because apparently when they ask them to go to the screen now, they aren't meant to be decisive language. They're just meant to go, can you have another look at that? Because you think there might have been contact or whatever. And I'd love to know if they release the audio, which they probably won't.
I think they will.
There's been no apology for what I've seen.
I
think overall people are just saying it's our
like
decision.
a month's time.
They've done us out of a point. We won't get an apology, I don't think.
No, they've not done you out of a point. They've done you out of 3 points.
Yeah, there's
They don't get that penalty. They don't get back in the game. In my opinion,
I would disagree with that because I think we were going further back anyway without Antonio. But I do agree with that. I think we may have been able to keep it 3-2, 3-1 result without that because the momentum change was mad.
You might have conceded, Ben, but it would have still been 3-2.
Yeah,
I know it did end up 4-3, but they had an easy way in with that penalty. If you had to work it, Moyes' changes are just shit. There was one I've seen. Who did he take off? He took off.
Taking Antonio off just doesn't help. We can't use pressure for so long, and then Joe's right. Without an outlet, we just concede. I think the pen and Antonio being off. It was double-edged sword.
He took somebody off and brought Johnson on, and then when he went 4-3 down, he then decided to take somebody else off and bring Danny Ings on. Would you not do that when you're 3-0?
Do you know what does me in, right? Is I was calling this. So Kufal was struggling with Anthony Gordon all day, and that's fine. Just take him off. Just take him off and put Ben Johnson on, and then that's early on. Do that, in my opinion. Yeah. Ben Johnson's physical. He's quick. He's strong. He'll be out. He won't get done from Anthony Gordon. He doesn't offer a lot going forward, but he doesn't get done. But then you're right. He brings off Antonio for Phillips, pushes Paquetá up, and then pushes Kudus out. Kudus on the left, still Burn on the right, and then Ward-Prowse in the centre. Ward-Prowse was useless that whole second half. I don't even know why he's on the pitch. Just take him off. I'm okay with that. Yeah. If he ain't playing well, he ain't playing well. But for fuck's sake, when are we going to start actually just keeping a striker on for 90 minutes?
No, I don't understand him. Just stick him
and you know what he's going to do? He's going to turn around. I didn't even watch the post-match conference because I'm sick of the cunt, to be honest with you. But I know what he's going to do. He's going to blame it on that penalty, and that's fine, blame it on the penalty. But you need to look at yourself as well, because we moved 20 yards further back as soon as Antonio went off. Because we had no outlet.
No. Yeah, I have no interest in listening to him anymore at all, to be honest. I don't want to hear his excuses. Yes, the
He's full of
penalty was
shit.
a game. Yeah, but like you said, the penalty was a game-changing point of the match, but he hasn't helped with his changes. He didn't help with his changes
Well,
at the
absolutely
moment.
not.
That Newcastle back line, right? When you're 3-1 up, that Newcastle back line was there for the taking. I'm not on about 3-1. I'm on about 4-1, 5-1. You go from they can't keep a straight line, mate. So you take Antonio off. You take Antonio off, put Mbama on, put someone that can run behind the line, and then just keep on feeding that ball over.
It's not even feeding the ball over. It's literally one big punt past them and breeze past them. Because some of them have got legs, but they haven't got pace. And the other ones
Shaw
have
doesn't,
pace,
does he?
but don't have legs. Like, you do that, you're getting past them. And then Bowen, he can come in. Kudos, for instance, he's the quickest player in the West Ham team. Get him through, and then you've got, at the time, Antonio, Bowen, all there, just to tap it in or to get a shot away. But it will never happen because he's went for the smart approach. He's went, Ken, what, we're 3-1 up. We can sit back now. They're not going to score. Oh, 3-2. Oh, 3-0. Oh, 4-3. Oh, fucking class.
Though,
let's be bringing Ings on now.
It was coming though, because I could be wrong, but I think we made our sub first, which is very, very, by the way, unusual. We took Antonio off for Phillips, I think, in the 66th minute, and then conceded the goal, I think, in the 71st. So conceded the penalty in the 71st. But as soon as we took Phillips off, they put 2 attackers on straight away. Yeah. They knew exactly what we were trying to do, or what Moyes wanted to do. And it was just so obvious. All they were going to do is push us further back. And we were just going to take it. Because Moyes just doesn't have a way of just... Do you know, like, I'm not asking to keep on attacking after 3-1, but at least keep a threat.
Just be considerate. If you're not going to attack as much as you're going to, keep doing what you're doing. Just don't... It sounds bad, but don't put all that effort into it. Have a little bit reserved. Take a little... Like it's boxing. Take a little bit off your punches, so then when it goes into the 10 round, 11th round, 12th round, you have got that little bit of fight to, oh, you want to get past me? You're going to have to get past me, rather than, fuck, my legs feel like jelly, I can't do fuck all. Which is kind of what it felt like towards it. It felt so fatigued towards the end of it. It felt like
when they got that penalty, it was so obvious it was 4-3. It was so obvious it was finishing 4-3. There was one moment, I think, Kurt Zouma got the ball about 10 yards back from the halfway line, and he hasn't even looked for anyone. He's just trying to smash it into a corner that no Newcastle players are at. And you just you keep on doing this. We're conceding a fourth, by the way, and we deserve to concede a fourth. We're so poor at trying to hold people out.
Here's another quote. They cannot score without the ball.
Said that last week, I think.
Keep it. No, I said something else.
What did you?
Keep the ball. Knock it about the back. If you want to, do shitty triangles that you're going to have one player running about like a fucking headless chicken. They're not going to catch it out. And if they do, if they're going to put 1, 2, 3 men trying to get that ball, then you punt it up. Because then you've got 3 of those men in your half. And you'll have 2 of your men just in their half.
Do you know what's annoying as well?
You know, it's not fucking rocket science.
Even if you're not going to put a striker on, just put Bowen up front and rather than Paqueta. At least he has the ability to run behind. It was so lazy, and we done it against Villa and ended up with a draw. And it was always going to happen. The exact same thing, because Paqueta can't hold a ball up.
No, I feel Paqueta just tries to be too fancy.
Yeah,
he doesn't do the basics.
Infuriating.
I don't think he does it, but it's the players that do like pirouettes and travellas and rambonas because it all looks fucking class. Nah, mate, fucking pass the ball like a normal person, because that's how you're going to get forward.
It's a total wrong mentality. At 3-1, they've got three of the back 4 aren't usual players, in my opinion. They ain't got their first choice keeper in goal. Just keep on going at them. I don't think they could even deal with us in midfield. Bruno Guimaraes had a really tough afternoon. I thought he had a really tough afternoon. He looked
very leggy, I felt.
Yeah.
He just didn't seem like it was him. Like, he does normally commit a lot of fouls, but these fouls were petulant ones. There are ones where he would normally go shoulder to shoulder on him, just
It's just whether
not
you're
give a
the
foul
off,
away.
and he was just kicking people or throwing or pushing people over, and it was just
Yeah.
lazy to get to the ball sort of thing. But they've been suspect of that a couple of times this season anyway. I don't know why it brings to mind the Brighton game for Newcastle springs to mind earlier this year where I think they got beat, was it 4-2 or something? They just looked leggy the
Something
whole
like
time.
that. Yeah.
Um,
Has Calvin Phillips shored up your midfield, or has he made it worse?
Me and Ben were on about this, funny enough, last night. Is if you take the incidents out, so the penalty this week, I think, obviously we don't agree on the red card that he got at Sheffield United, but the red card at Sheffield United, the pass back against Bournemouth. If you look at those situations, and I'm not trying to make an excuse for him, but there's usually, I don't think it's a red card at Sheffield United. It's not a penalty against Newcastle. And that one against Bournemouth isn't his fault, actually. It's Zuma's fault before the pass to him. It was a hospital ball. I actually think, in general play, he's been okay.
I think he's been decent for us. I like the way he's turned up for us. And he seems keen on putting effort in for the team.
He's trying too hard. He's trying too hard.
Yeah. I think he's definitely to prove, I think he's trying to point to himself.
Yeah.
The effort he puts in, but yeah, you're right. He's trying to, and he's making silly little mistakes here and there. But I think, as a player, I'll take him next week if they want to sign him permanently.
I'm not convinced.
Do you think it's confidence that he's been on the bench for Man City collecting dust, and then he's come into a West Ham team that aren't fully floating, but they're not shit either, and he's trying to show what he done at Leeds at West Ham. But
I don't know if you agree. I think we've got a really competitive midfield. Actually, I think when he looked at January and looked to sign with us, I think you look at that midfield. I don't think he gets in there straight away. I think Edson Alvarez keeps him out at the moment, and I think, to be honest, you don't want Edson Alvarez and Calvin Phillips in that whole midfield in a one, because unfortunately Souček plays because Moyes is never keeping that boy out. So he doesn't beat Edson Alvarez for me. I wouldn't sign him in the summer unless Souček or Ward-Prowse
are out the door,
which they're not going to go. But I wouldn't sign him in the summer,
and then I'd take him.
But saying that, Souček's been decent in the whole midfield, in deep midfield next to Ward-Prowse. He was decent against Newcastle with Ward-Prowse. I actually think Ward-Prowse was suspect, and I think he needed to be taken off about 50 minutes earlier than he did. And I think he showed that actually when Ben Johnson came on, because I think Ben Johnson was okay.
This opinion you might not agree with. That performance from Ward-Prowse looked like last season when he played for Southampton. Not quite himself. He wasn't fantastic. And to be honest, he should have been taken off most games at fucking half-time.
Well, the problem is, right, he doesn't like defending. He doesn't like defend. He's a box-to-box player, but he doesn't like defending. And
I don't think he can.
He plays better
when he doesn't like it. I don't think he can.
He plays better when he's slightly higher up. Like when you used to play at the start of the season, when you played Declan Rice the deeper, or actually no, even now, where you play Jorginho deeper, Rice slightly higher up on the left, and Ødegaard. If we play that, we play a midfield three. If we play it like that, Ward-Prowse on that box-to-box left is fine. But when he's sitting back as a double pivot, he hates it, and you can tell he hates it. He has no effort to get forward or close a man down.
Yeah.
But it ain't his job.
Yeah, no, it's not. It isn't. It's not. But I don't know if he's got the capacity to do it for a good length for the game where he's trying to be defensive. I think he can do it in bursts, but I don't think he's prolific at it. Folk look at him and he goes, he's just a free kick merchant. He is more than that. His passing, his vision, and his dribbling is class. He's not, for me, if you look at the CDMs, he's not as physical as he should be. He isn't as tough as it. And in my opinion, defensively, he isn't smart. Going forward, he's so intelligent. Defending, though, he's a bit... It's like he's caught in two minds. He's like,
he's a free-flowing number 8.
I can do that.
You need him, and he isn't a Moyes midfielder, which was so weird because I don't think he can sit in that pivot. But he's such a... If you let him, if you obviously give him a side or play him slightly in front of a double pivot, whatever you want to do, but you need to just let him kind of try and get in the pockets. He's very much what Paquetá does, but not to this, in my opinion, Luis Paquetá's unreal. But no, he's not the same player. And also as well, he's a square rolling around peg at the minute. Because he doesn't. Well, obviously Alvarez wasn't allowed to play due to his cards. So, but no,
have you guys seen the video with Calvin Phillips?
Yeah. By the way, I don't blame him. Now, I'll put a picture up on this.
I wanted your opinion on that because obviously, for a little bit of insight, if you want to go see it, go look it up. But you're the West Ham fan, kind of saying you're fucking useless, you're shit, blah 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 blah. You know what? As a footballer, I believe you have the right to react. He hasn't done anything massively wrong. He's gestured with his middle finger, saying that's a bad sentence you just spoken, good sir.
No, basically sort of
and
fuck
then go
off.
on the bus. And it's a case of my thing is the public don't want footballers to publicise their own opinion. They should be able to take it.
Well, just take criticism. Just do it.
Yes.
The fact that he's actually gone, do you know what, mate? Fuck
you know what though, Ben? If it's
fault.
constructive or it's educated, I don't even know. If it's formulated, if it's like a formulated opinion and criticism, I get it.
Yeah.
Tell him he's fucking useless. It's just pointless. What does that achieve? You've had 10 pints. You're on a work day. You're pissed off. You've lost 4-3. You sat there just to tell him he's fucking useless. I'm sorry, mate. I know he's a West Ham fan that said it. You're fucking sad. Do you know what I mean?
He wanted his voice to be heard.
Yeah.
He wanted his voice to be heard.
That's all it is.
There's also a part of me though that goes, they get paid. Footballers get paid a lot, and they should be able to take it. But I think when it is being targeted, it's not been the case of the team's shit, blah 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 blah. It was directed to him. He should have the right to turn around and go. Well, he didn't, but he should.
If he said something that was completely, that was like constructive, I'd RFE it, or something like, I don't know, but like
There's always balance like this though. Like I don't see the point in it. Like to do stuff like that. Then the one that sticks in my mind is the one with Scott Brown. When I think he was still who I don't know if he was still playing for Celtic or not.
He said it was your sister.
And his sister had passed away from I believe for cancer like a few years before. Why say that? It doesn't it's not like, oh, look at me, I just said that. It just makes you look like a total dick. You're just a cunt for bringing that up.
It's football,
it's the same guy that does it with Calvin Phillips. He's just a dick. He's obviously
it's like you've got 9 games, right? You've got 9 games where you can judge him from. We've still got Europe to play for, right? And a good firing, confident Calvin Phillips improves our chances. I mean, he's going to need to play against Leverkusen in the first leg because again, Edson Alvarez is done due to cards in the Europa League.
You know what? I think the Europa League will benefit Calvin Phillips, and it sounds really bad, but it's a step down of the pace of the game. Obviously, the Premier League, it's
continent football,
the whole fucking time. Europa, if you get caught lacking, you don't always concede a goal. He can show kind of what he's worth in this West Ham team in Europa, and then if he does that, get his confidence up, put him in the starting 11 in the Prem and see what he does. I personally, I think it's his confidence. He doesn't have any at the moment, and rightly so. I mean, Pep didn't fucking trust him, and I think he was wrong to do so. But he was never getting in for Rodri, but he was never coming on as a sub either, even when he was fit.
He's not a game changer though. He's not a game changer in a set. He's a shore up midfielder. I think he's better than Kovacic though, in my opinion. I'm not going to lie to you. I think he is better than Kovacic. A fit and firing Phillips, I think he's better. I don't know what Kovacic brings apart from legs. That's all he is.
Yeah, he just can just run. He's just constant.
Yeah.
The only thing Ben wanted to bring up was I'm very surprised that Saka played today, Gav. Was he not injured?
No. Well, no, he was. I didn't train
Was the centre back not injured today as well?
He was, and you could tell he wasn't 100%. By the way, in the first 10 minutes, he's hands on his knees.
So take it up to justify it, right? the player was also meant to be injured. Now, he didn't have enough game, but he started. So Saka, De Bruyne, and Gabriel, what's starting out then?
So Saka's a really weird one, by the way, because he's been nursing a whole bunch of injuries all season. So it could be the fact of he was taken out as a precaution. It could be the fact that he had a current injury because he's had this Achilles injury.
He's done it in though, is it? It's 2 in a row, isn't it now?
Yeah.
With what? Sorry.
International breaks he's pulled out of, and then he's played your next game.
Yeah,
What?
I know what you're saying, but again, you could tell Saka
I don't
wasn't
think there's any
100%
justification
today.
for it
I don't think
because-
he was brilliant.
Did he not play 80 minutes though, or 70 minutes?
No, he got taken off way before that. He played a big chunk of the game. He did play a big chunk of the game, but you could tell he wasn't running past people. He wasn't taking them on. He was so lethargic. Gabriel, within the first 15 minutes, had his hands on his knees. He was so he just looked out of breath.
You play international football, which, in my opinion, if you've watched TikToks, international football, right? Saka, a whole both capable, so not just having a proper Arsenal. He's very injured.
The problem is, Arsenal are the one that have currently done it now. Arsenal players are the one genuinely that were the headliners that done it. I mean, Ben White. What I prefer is just do what Ben White did. But the reason why Saka won't do it, and he'll blame it on this injury that he's got, is because he want to be on the plane. Because he want to be on the plane in June. Is why.
Annoys me as well is like you can't.
You know what?
Pick and choose when you play international. Look at the perfect example is look at Kai Havertz. He played for Germany. He played against France. And he still turned up for Arsenal.
Saliba, I don't even think Saliba played for France at all, did he? He went.
Saliba doesn't get picked for France.
No, but he was in the squad, wasn't he? But he never got time. He never got game time, I think.
I don't think he was in the squad. I don't think he was called up. The manager doesn't like him. He's publicly come out and said that. You know what? There's a part of me that does agree with it, and yes, it does bother me to a certain extent. But at the same time, it was friendlies. It wasn't like you're going to qualify for something, which in my mind. But right, so West Ham have their tour, right? I want them to play their starting 11 in the tour. It's only friendlies though, but they should play. If they want to be picked in that team, they should play then.
Yeah, but if you've ever played football yourself, you get told by the coach, you don't train, you don't play.
No, I'm just saying, but to say
no. So my point is, he want to be on that. He want to be on that plane to the Euros, wouldn't he?
Of course he will.
So what's up with this? Is thank you. That's what I don't understand. And it wasn't like it was friendlies against.
Whoever doesn't play in Euro friendlies in July doesn't play in the squad then.
No, right, you're not listening.
How is it so much different? It's because not. They were both friendlies.
What I don't mind is if it's against Andorra in January, I actually don't have a massive problem with it. It is the last international break before the Euros, where if you go off Gareth Southgate, he wants to implement new stuff. I don't think he did, but he wants to implement new stuff before the tournament, right? It personally bothers me as well, and I'm not even going to try and hide my bias. Is Jarrod Bowen played 2 games for England, and I think he was unreal. Saka will still go in front of him when he doesn't pick his country before his club. And I do have a problem with that. Because I think it's a fucking joke. And I'd get it if it was a friendly against Andorra in January. It's against Brazil and Belgium, 8 weeks out from a Euros.
A lackluster Brazil.
You say lackluster, they fucking beat us.
No, not convincingly.
But they beat us though.
Yeah.
Oh, well done. That's right.
No, that's my point.
They beat us. They're not a better team than us.
My point is the same. It's Saka and De Bruyne. Like if the play for Belgium as soon as the same Saka will be in June, you don't expect a spot in that starting 11. And what fucks me off is the fact that a rough player for Arsenal will have to go through so much training and do all the under-18s jobs and all that. He gets called up to start now because they put in the work. I don't think that you should be able to just pick and choose if and when you can be asked to play for your country. If you have to be picked for the squad and why aren't you starting? If you just bank out, I think I prefer the way Ben White's done it. Do you know what? I don't want to do international football. All right, that's fine.
But no, about it though, because as soon as Kyle Walker retires, he'll want back into that squad.
Yeah. honestly,
I'm not too sure. I
But the
don't
only
know.
thing is I would say,
I
right,
think
is
as
if
long
that
as Southgate and that boy and that fucking assistants there, Ben White's no playing.
see if you put if Rashford does this, right? Because I'm going to try and be objective about it. If Rashford does this, there is hell on his doorstep. The
Rashford
fucking
has
media are
pulled out
going
though.
for him. Eh?
Rashford has pulled out in the past and played the next game for United. There's so many players
I
that
don't
do
remember
it, just
it,
haven't
Tim,
been
I'm not going to lie to
publicised.
you.
I'm positive he has.
It just takes
I
a
don't think it was the last
precedent.
one. It was the
No,
one
it
before, I
was these
think.
spurious injuries that Arsenal are going, oh, he's injured. And then when they go, oh, he's injured. So where was his late fitness check today then? Because there wasn't one. So
It wasn't an issue.
Who?
for
Saka.
Saka, there was no late
He
fitness
didn't. He
test for
didn't train
Saka.
all week. Saka didn't train all
Right,
week. The
right, but
only
why
the only
was
one
it-
he played was Friday afternoon.
So there wasn't a late
Was
fitness
it
check.
Saturday? No, sorry, not late on the day. It was late into the week. There wasn't
So
Martinelli.
it was deemed,
There
so it was
wasn't
deemed that he could
Gabriel.
play. Is
In
my
the
point.
last training session. The
So-
last training session, he only had one
What-
throughout the week.
I've very clearly stated this. In my opinion, if you are available for international duty, I think you go to your camp and then England sign you off going, you can't play, or Brazil sign you off and say you can't play. You don't turn up and go, oh, I've got an injury somewhere on my leg, but I can't really, I'm not going to specify it because, well, I don't need to, do I? And the media aren't going to come for me because they
It's
don't
his
need to
Achilles.
either. What?
His Achilles has been the problem the whole season.
When he pulled out, though, it wasn't due to that. It was just due to some spurious injury. There was no clear.
I can almost bet my house on it. It would be his Achilles. You'd have felt.
Yeah, by the way, as well,
something.
When you look at all three of the players that I've mentioned, Gabriel, Saka, and De Bruyne, all of them have come out with an injury, and then they never really gave a particular about that. Is my
None of
point.
the details were given. Some they miraculously start. Like it's a joke.
And then De Bruyne plays the whole game.
Yeah. De Bruyne, it sets a bad precedent for the players because effectively now, when you get the players for Scotland, England, France, whoever, but now when they're coming forward, they're seeing all these other top line players just basically going, "Oh fuck it, I'm in a league chase. So I'm just gonna go home because I can't be asked playing for my country." And I think it undermines, and I know there's a lot of people who don't enjoy international football. I don't really understand why.
I don't enjoy friendlies.
I
don't enjoy.
I sort of disagree with what you're saying, Ben. I agree and disagree at the same time. I don't think anyone gives a shit about internationals anymore. It's not the same of when we grew up, and it was the fact of you guys had Gerrard and Lampard and players like that pulling on the ship, and they were proud to do so. Scotland had what's his name, Darren Fletcher and fucking Craig Gordon and all these players that were proud to wear the shirt. I think nowadays it's just an accolade. Once you've done it once, you've done it. You've got the T-shirt, you've been there, you've played. I don't need to do it again. And I think you're seeing that so many players nowadays, and that's why the fans don't give a shit about it.
Euros.
Pardon?
He'll want to play in the Euros.
I know, but that's not. I'm just saying the international football is dead, and that's for the fans. So the fans are players.
And that's fine, but I'd agree with you actually when it goes to qualifiers because we always end up getting some dross team like San Marino, and I get that. This one's I'm trying to stress the importance of it because it's 8 weeks before Euros, and I think that is important then because you'll probably find most of the people that are selected in this squad will go to the next one, will go to the Euros, and Saka will want to be on that plane. And my argument is you have literally picked club over country. You haven't even gone to St George's Park. You've just said you're pulling out due to an injury and not really telling us what the injury is, which is fine if they want to do that. But then don't expect to be called to go to Germany, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think
so many players that don't give a shit.
No,
I get your point. As a player point, it's just a stupid. It's just a mute point. They don't.
I think there should be some sort of
as much as what they did 10, 15 years ago. It's just another accolade.
Because could you imagine, right? In our Euros, right? So if we turn around and went, right, you've pulled out, so because you're not the national break, you don't know qualify for that. Say, no, what? Scotland win the Euros, whatever. I don't.
I've been there 6 days.
International break. Like, if he brings him round and gets a tournament, he goes, well, I think we have to the friendlies, but I want to turn up. No, we're going out the squad. There's no bitch that they would then go, if you don't win it, they'd then actually go, oh, I don't want to be part of the trophy win. And I want to sit there and go, you can't pick and choose. You're available for international football.
That's what pisses me off, yeah.
I don't think we should. I think players are too entitled.
Just retire.
Now.
I wouldn't have a problem with him. Just retire.
If you just want to focus on the league,
like Gavin's saying, if you don't care about international football, just retire then.
But again, this is why fans don't
This is
care.
about an injury you've not
Because
got.
the players don't care. The only reason the people watch, the fans watch the Euros is because it's football.
No.
Absolutely. I don't think. No, but you don't. Right, you don't sit there and enjoy it like you do a Premier League season.
Oh no, it's
I
better.
don't, personally.
No, it's absolutely
I
better.
don't.
You watched England with me. It is so much better.
Fucking disagree with that.
It's unreal.
No, class. It's not the Germany is what it was. It's not the Italy of what it was.
But it's
It's
nation
just shit.
rivalry. Of course it isn't.
Yeah,
Mate,
of
we
course.
literally went to England,
2
Scotland,
seconds.
France, and you
You
absolutely, mate. We appeared tartan fucking top on and that. So you can, you're totally hypocritical.
That's a good top. That's a vintage top. But that's not what I'm saying. You have the odd
No, because
games.
it doesn't suit your
2
argument.
seconds. No, 2 seconds. You have the odd games where you do get up about it, and you're
Yeah.
like, this is going to be a firecracker. Scotland, England was not one of those. It was built up. It wasn't one of those.
Decent.
But you don't get all those games. You don't. Most of the games, I would say a good 85% of the games are dross.
No, but what I'm saying is,
watching it.
So I'm not trying to belittle Scotland, but England at some point, when they get through the group stages, will most likely verse an Italy, a Spain, a Germany, a France. All of them are huge games for an England fan, in my opinion. I view them as much as a derby for West Ham. I just do.
Yeah,
when you have those games, you get to the latter stages of the tournament. You then start to go, this is interesting now, because somebody could win 1-0 that arguably shouldn't. Let's say it could be the fact of, let's go with the other Euro final, where you had Italy and England, where Italy, personally, shouldn't have won it. I don't think they were strong enough to win it. But they did win it, and you're like, well, fair play. That was actually a good class game. But then you have other games where it's the fact that you have fucking, no disrespect intended, Austria v Denmark. And it's going to be 0-0 for the thick of 89 minutes, and it's boring.
But what I'm saying is, what you're saying, right? England Slovenia is not going to be an amazing game.
Oh, most England games, I think.
I get that argument, but what I'm saying is he'll want to be in the Euros if we get to a semi, or he'll want to be in the Euros if we get to a final.
I'm not arguing that point.
He'll want to play against Flora and Wirtz. He'll want to play against these players, but he doesn't want to.
You're just saying, you're kind of supporting my argument, though. He wants to play in the big ones. He wants to play in the exciting ones. He doesn't want to play against fucking Kazakhstan.
You need to play against the dross to early place.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a part of me that agrees with you, but there's also a part of me that goes, it's a friendly, it doesn't fucking matter. If it's qualifiers, I completely, it's justified.
Declan Rice didn't drop out.
That's good for Declan Rice. If you want to play the qualifiers, I think you play the qualifiers, you should then have a bigger chance of being selected for that tournament that you have personally qualified for.
My annoying thing is when you see this first game for England in June, just to finish off on this, when you see this first England game in June, Jared Bowen will not be on the right wing, Foden will not be on the right wing, it will be Saka. And to be honest with you, I don't back it at all. And I think the media's done a shambolic job as well of trying to highlight this. Because I'm not buying there was an injury. He played like 70 minutes today.
He always plays minutes. Even when he did. Mate, he's been doing it all season. You're not listening to my point. He's had an injury the whole fucking season.
He's playing for you.
Yes. Because we fucking need him to play. He's playing injured. He is. He's been doing it the whole season. I think there was maybe a 2-week period where he didn't play. And that was due to his Achilles. And he's been nursing it the whole fucking season. The whole season. It's not a new injury, it's just a reoccurring one.
I don't buy it.
No.
You don't have to buy it. Just believe it, son.
No, I think that should be a penalty.
No, I don't think a penalty. I just think, to be honest, Gareth Southgate has the courage of his convictions and go, all right, Sacco, fuck off then.
Where's he going?
No,
United? Liverpool?
He'll go Arsenal, will he?
United.
After the
Aye,
third title attempt that Arteta has.
Aye, plus will take us to the championship. First time being relegated under that cunt. I gotta be honest, he's just shit. Him and his fucking backroom staff.
He'll be gone. He'll be gone. Probably, I would think.
Yeah, he
From
needs to.
football, we can only hope.
No, do you know what, actually, John's really depressing. I could see him landing at a West Ham.
God.
And that would depress me. Because we'd try and play Spanish football. That's all he does. He tries to walk the ball in the net. And it's so annoying at times.
Again, he does what Arsenal can do and used to do. The perfect goal.
Yeah.
He wants it to be the fact of the headlines in the morning's going to be this spectacular goal scored by Foden, rather than, they beat Brazil, which, yes, it was a friendly and it was a lackluster Brazil. At the same time, the headline, England beats Brazil, is still a pretty big headline, but he doesn't want that. He wants the spectacular, amazing goal that they've just scored. Fuck it. I don't care if it P-rolls in, as long as it goes in the fucking net. You know what I mean?
Well, it won't P-roll from Saka, will it? Because he's not playing.
He just scores bangers, that's why.
He scores bangers. Where was he today?
Right.
Thank you very much for watching. That is the Pretenders versus the Contenders episode. Please subscribe and like, because Gav will smile.
If he uses that as the headline, don't like this video.
Well, it will be done. It's already on the 57th minute you've said that. But thank you very much for watching. Cheers.